Hey guys, Scott here with Snyder Gaming. We have Challenger here. It's a little bit of a chess style game. We've had it for a couple of years. We're just not getting to making the video for it. It's a two-player game. It's about 45 minutes, and I would say it's ages 10 and up. Uh, it's a chess style game with some other variants to it, but we'll get into it. Here is the board. Um, As you can see, it's got quite a few different things to it, and we'll get into those here in just a second as we explain some of the pieces to the board and what they do. You have player one side and player two side. You have attacking pieces and defending pieces. As you can see, the green and blue also, this is what the attack pieces will look like, as well as over here. So basically what happens is the youngest player will go first. As you move across the board, certain pieces have certain distances they can go and directions they can go. Starting with the attacking pieces. The attacking pieces do different things. So we have the green, yellow, and pink. As they move across the board, the green can go up to 3 spaces, 4 spaces. The green can go 4 spaces. Forwards and backwards and left to right. So up and down and then over and back up to 4 spaces, okay? Now, the way the green works is that, once you cross the board, it can do a couple of different things. It can bring out other pieces. So it can bring out another attacking piece, all right, either the pink or the yellow. It can also bring out a defender, an extra defender to help against the attacking pieces. Now, once it gets down to here, actually, we'll come back to that. We'll go ahead and bring out the other pieces real quick. The yellow marker, once it brings out a yellow marker, it can move diagonally up to 4 spaces at a time, meaning it can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Up to 4 spaces at a time, diagonally in either direction. Meaning diagonally this way, diagonally that way, this way, however, backwards and forwards. The magenta one, or the pink one, either way you want to call it. In the game, we call it magenta. It can move any direction up to 5 spaces. So it can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if it wanted to for whatever reason. It can bounce around. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it can do something similar to that. Any direction, kind of like the queen can in chess. Okay, so consider that the queen, the bishop, and like a pawn. Now you have the defending piece. Okay, now the 3 attacking pieces can cross the white line. The defender cannot. So the defender can go all the way up to the white line but stay there, and it can also move any direction up to 3 spaces. So it can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, something like that, or 1, 2, 3, any way it wants to. If it's trying to get around pieces, none of these pieces can actually go over the other piece. They cannot cross another piece. So if we are here, for whatever reason it lines up like this, you cannot do this to start. Okay, so it's not like 1, 2. It has to go around. All right, so if there's a blocking piece, it cannot do that, and none of these pieces can. Now, real quick, the defender does one special thing. It cannot bring out pieces, but it sends away pieces. So if this guy was here, manages to cross here, and the defender is here, since he can go over diagonal 1, he lands here and sends him back. Now, and even though it can't cross, it can send him back, so it can land on that spot. And remember, these pieces go up to a certain amount of pieces. So whether it's 3, 4, or 5, they can go up to those, so they don't have to go the full amount. Now, the objective of the game is to get down here to the white locations, okay? Now, the white locations considers a point. and here are the little point tokens. The first player to 3 points wins. The blue locations, as you can see, are safety zones. Now, once a player gets to here, the defender cannot stop them from going there. Okay. Now, let's take the yellow for example. If the yellow just happens to be here, it cannot go here. Oops, let's get back over here. Okay, so it can move up to 4 spaces, right? It can only go diagonally. Now, it cannot go here, here, and then here, okay? It's still got to go diagonally, so it cannot move up. So you got to be able to play the yellow pieces perfectly. Now, they are good distractions as you play the game. And to keep the other player guessing on where you're going to go. You can have both defenders out. Okay, so you can have both defenders out to help slow the other player down, to distract the player. Also, when you play, you can only move one piece at a time. You can't do, like 1, 2, I have a couple spots left over. Let's go 1, 2 there to finish out 3 or 4. It has to be whatever piece you start with is the piece you end with. Even if you only use one of your movements, you cannot like switch pieces. That is basically the game. It's all about strategy and how you work your pieces and how you score. Like I said, the first player to get 3 points wins, whether it's 3-0 or 3-2. It could be a no-biter, it could be a blowout. Just depends on how well you can play your pieces. If you guys have any other questions, you can email me. The only piece that can bring out other pieces is the green one. So the yellow, if it lands here, cannot bring out the pink attacking piece. Okay, it can only be the green. Only the green can bring out other pieces. Again, that's Challenger. Rules are explained pretty well in the book. They may be a little bit backwards, but they do work. All right, so this is the rule book. Okay, how to play is actually on the back of it. That's my bad, but I like it. I like to change things up. Most games nowadays, everything's set up kind of the same way. So it's nice to throw different things in there. Sorry for the camera movement constantly. Trying to do this in a rough area. Not a rough area, you know what I mean? Anyways, you guys have a great day and happy gaming.